up, y'all? It's your girl, Sarah from SarahResells here. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are doing a panel on eBay. We are probably not even going to get to all of the eBay questions out there because it is so complex, but I am so excited to have these two full-time resellers on here with me. I'm going to introduce them in a minute, but I am a reseller and the channel is dedicated to reselling content, hauls, and then also data analytics, how to look at your data and use it to meet your monetary goals. I have two analytical dashboards for the reseller on my Etsy shop. Links for all of that stuff is down below, as well as these women's information. Let's get started. It's a bit of a chaos over here and just life in general right now. My brain is all foggy. So we're going to just go with this one. It's been a bit of a crazy day today for me. So let's get started. I'm going to introduce Valarie. She is KFP Boutique Fashion, different names, different places, but that is her name. She is on eBay and Poshmark, and she actually does a lot of listings for me. She knows her shit on eBay, and so this is Valarie.
Hello.
And then Sarah Reseller. That's her Instagram name, and we were just chatting before this started, and she has various different names on different platforms. So I will let her give that information out as well. Thank you guys both for joining me. I'm so happy to have you here. I know you guys are going to just share all of your eBay wealth. It's so complex. So thank you for coming and sharing your wealth with us because it is such a complex topic. We kind of just have a panel and chat back and forth. I usually go like down the way, so you're not just like sitting and like, who are you talking to? But you can talk and whatever you need to do with each other. So I'm going to start with you, Val, if you want to kind of introduce yourself a little bit, and then tell us how you got your name and how you got into reselling.
Hello, I'm KFP Fashion Boutique, and I got my name because years ago I had a identification site where you could look up Gap shoes and different things back when the children's market was really big and you could resell things for good money. And that site was called Kids Fashion. And I kind of just translated that over a point in time. Okay, I can.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be one of those lives, and this is real life. Because I'm just having a day. I muted myself, hoping it would get rid of some of that feedback, and it did not. So, how did you get into reselling? You have been on eBay for like 11, 12 years. I mean, a while, right?
Since 2006.
Yeah. So just a little bit of time.
Yeah, I started out just because every time I would take my boys' clothes to Once Upon a Child, they were giving me nothing or wouldn't even take them. And I was getting frustrated, and somebody said, try eBay. And so I did, and it was really successful. And so in the beginning, I just did it for myself. And then I started thrifting, and I started thinking, hey, I could sell this. And it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I was on this really big site. I don't know, some people might remember it, called Jumbo Friends. And there was about 60,000 members on there. And I started signing for other moms. So they would send all of their stuff to me, and then I would list it for them and take a percentage of it.
Yeah, which is amazing. I've tried to figure out how to send you all my stuff, and we can't figure out a way to make it.
It's really hard. It used to be when auctions were the thing, it was so great because I could list 200 to 800 auctions in a week, and I'd start them all at 99 cents and make a killing for that client in a week. And they would, so I would have like 50 to 60 clients every season. So basically the season was like spring, summer, or fall, winter.
And you prefer, right? I mean, you prefer doing kind of that work than the outsourcing, which is like the weirdest thing because most resellers love the shopping and hate all the rest of it.
I absolutely hate sourcing.
Yeah, I know. We need to be neighbors because I'll just stop and then you can list everything. It would be like the perfect pairing.
That's what people say. They started out with consigning so early on that I'm just so used to the listing process, shipping process, all of that. It's just a piece of cake for me, but trying to find things to sell is frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the work that you do for me because you breeze through it. I'm like, you're like, I'm done. And I was like that would have taken me like 4 hours and you do it. Yeah. So, all right, let's head over to Sarah. Tell us a little bit about all of your names or pick one or kind of who you are and then how you got into reselling.
All right, so I'm Sarah, and I'll go with my eBay name because I've done eBay the longest, and it's Raspberry Lane. And I named it Raspberry Lane because we live on a street called Raspberry Lane in Woodland, Washington. It's a little farming town that used to be Raspberry Lane or Raspberry Field. So that's where our subdivision got built on top of. So that's where that came from. My husband doesn't love it because he feels weird helping me. So, so that's how I got the name. But I started with I've just always loved thrifting, and I love the Goodwill outlet because you can get stuff so cheap. And so that's how I would just go and find fun stuff for my family and give it away, you know, whatever. And then I started clearing out some stuff in my house. And so I was doing Facebook Marketplace. And then I realized, wait, like the stuff I see at the bins would totally sell on Facebook Marketplace for a lot more than what I'm paying. And so I started dabbling in it and realized, wow, you can make money doing this. And I have a friend, I don't know if you guys follow Thrifting for the Nest, but she is a friend of mine who full-time resells. And so she, when I started like messaging her about it and asking some questions, she's the one that walked me through getting going and then has been a really huge support. And so it kind of just like started off as a little trickle and kept growing and growing. So it's great.
So how long?
3 years on eBay.
Okay. And you're both on Poshmark as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I started Poshmark. So my husband lost his job last summer and transitioned. He's becoming a realtor. So we're like, okay, we got to ramp up reselling during this, like building client base. And so we ended up, that's when I started being willing to go outside of eBay because eBay's been my comfort zone. I love it. And I didn't really want to do anything else, but I was like, no, this is good timing to do that. And so I started with Poshmark, which I find so much harder, honestly, than eBay. And then I did Citizen, Etsy, and Mercari. So I'm finding Mercari and eBay to be really similar. So it's a much easier learning curve for me. Poshmark still stresses me out, I'll be honest. Like there's all the banning and all the sharing and I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about this sometimes. Like what platform you start on, I think is your baby. And Leslie from A Reseller's Passion just popped on. And I've heard her say that too. Like kind of with whatever you start with, that's what you're most comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I started with Poshmark. And so I'm like, oh my God, eBay. But I'm slowly, it's been about 6 months and I'm like, okay, I can like go through a listing without like having a panic attack. But they're all like, and Reseller Passion says that she likes, that's Leslie. Facebook Marketplace. Do you guys do Facebook Marketplace at all?
Not very often. It usually just irritates me because people back out, and I don't have time for that. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
That's kind of wrong.
Yeah, same for me. That it just like it. That's how I started. But then I started loving being able to just someone pays me, I ship it. I don't have to set up a time. I don't have to deal with people not showing up and arrange my schedule. So I very rarely do it now.
That's how I am. And people, like I used to do porch pickup sometimes, and then people are creepy. And I started realizing, so I used to do hair out of my house. And then I had a couple of clients who like freaked out on me, and then they knew where I lived, and I have children. And I was like, nah, like I don't want people knowing where I live. And even now, like I have a PO box because I don't want like a return to like know where I live or something, right? Okay, so Does It Come in Gold says, totally agree. eBay seems so hard after starting on Posh. So let's get into eBay. I feel like we could probably talk all the things besides eBay forever because we're resellers. Okay, I have a list we're going to go off of. I'm not as organized as I usually am, so bear with me, guys. It has been a week with all the chaos, and we're in the midst of buying and selling a house. We went under contract on top of like I'm a homeschooling mom now. So it's just been a day or a week, a month. So I know. Let's see. I think okay, so let's start with you're setting up eBay. Do you guys have stores, and what level and why?
I have a store. I have the one, I don't know what they call it nowadays, but the one where you get 1,000 listings. The next bump up, I think, is 3,000, and that's just, I wish they had a 2,000 store because I might push to that level, but 1,000 is where I'm at. So I kind of stay around 1,200 listings or 1,000 or 1,200.
So that's how many listings you can actively have, not how many listings you can do a month.
That's how many that you get with the subscription that you don't have to pay extra for the listing fee, but you can list as many as you want. And it really doesn't, I don't think it's possible to bump up to 300 or to the next level till, I don't even remember how many listings, at least 2,000, I would say.
Okay. And so that's doing just for new eBayers and myself as well, because I have a store, but I don't even really know what I have. So you can post or you can list 1,000 items a month for free with that store. And that's the big reason that you want a store.
Oh, there's so many features with the store. I feel like there's just so many different things. I mean, I didn't prepare for that question.
Oh, sorry. Sarah, you can jump in. If you don't, you can jump into like, why would you have a store as opposed to just
Yeah, so I did, you can do the 50 free, which is a great way, the beginning time, just to not do a store. But I think pretty quickly you start to realize that you want to be able to run sales. That's a really big thing, is to manage your store through, you can search for certain items. Okay, I want to have a sale on all my shirts and I want to have 20% off, or I want to have a buy one, get one, a certain percent off. So it gives you more flexibility in that way. I also think you get more views. I'm not sure. There's so many theories about eBay, and I'm not sure anybody knows exactly, but I do feel like you get preferred perhaps because you're paying a subscription, and then it becomes cheaper than paying per listing after you get a certain point. And I don't know at what point, if it's over 100 or over what number, but if you look at it, you can tell, okay, I'm going to actually save money by having a store because I'll get free listings instead of paying per listing. I also have the 1,000 one. And I've heard it's pretty hard to make the 3,000 store, the biggest one, the anchor store, I think it's called, worth it unless you're doing that many listings. It's a big jump in price. Mm-hmm. So I just have the 1,000.
I think it's $100 a month.
Yeah, I think if you are only on eBay and you're doing mass inventory, it probably makes sense at some point, but not for me yet.
Right.
And so at the store, you get like the seller hub, right, and the analytics. That's all for a store. Which you all know me, and I love my analytics, and I'm slowly looking at the eBay analytics, and they're amazing. They actually like tell you things.
They added Terapeak as well recently, which is nice. You can research, like you could tick a brand in there and dress, and then you'll get all kinds of things. There's a lot of really good information in Terapeak.
It gets very overwhelming though, to find. Everybody needs a Valarie in their life. Because I'm like, how do you get to this report, Valarie? And she's like, well, because you Google it, and most of the stuff I find on Google is like from 2005, and I'm like, well, that's not relevant anymore. Okay, so what's that?
I forget sometimes, and I have to Google it too.
But like, I was going to say, I have to Google every time how to get my free shipping supplies or the included. Because they changed it. They used to send you an email and you clicked a link and it would take you right to the store. And then they stopped sending emails. And so I missed a whole bunch of supplies because now you have to hunt for it. It's not quite as.
Yeah, well, I bet they're not giving
you know, there's a whole square for shortcuts, and you can make the shortcut and name it what you want. Have you noticed that in Seller Hub? Look for shortcuts. You can add anything you want there. So you can put free shipping supplies or whatever you want and put the URL in there, and then it's always there for you.
Oh, that's smart. I'll have to put that. I have like I'm not ignoring you guys, but I'm like writing down notes on my phone as you tell me things. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. That was the other thing I wanted to note. So with the store, you get free $25 coupon for free shipping. Well, it probably depends on your package. I don't know what store level I am. I get $25, so I don't know what level I'm at.
I get,
but it's kind of oh yeah, so I'm probably the level below you.
Mm-hmm.
How many actives do you guys probably have? Around 1,000?
I think I probably have 1,150 maybe right now.
I'm like 750. My goal is 1,000. But finding inventory, I'm just really trying to up my quality of inventory, and that means my quantity is going down. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'll list like 100 new ones, and then I'll take out 10% of them and get rid of them.
Oh yeah. See, I keep them forever. So I'm like, I already did all this work. And I'll use it as like, and on Poshmark, I'll use it as like, you can have this for free if you buy something else. Cause I've already done the listing, right? Like just take it from me. But it's nice because like they have like little thank you cards and tape and poly mailers. And I mean, it's a nice little bonus for if you're doing a business, things that you don't have to pay for. It is branding them. But I don't have to pay for it. So I'm fine with that. Okay. So I was going to do it on my computer, but like I said, I'm a mess today. And I don't remember my eBay login. So I can't pull it up on the computer, but I'm going to pull up a listing on here and we can kind of just walk through how to do a listing and like the best practices from what you know. I mean, everyone has a different theory and everyone, but kind of if we were to go through and do a listing, the best practices. So the keywords, the title is the first thing that you go in and do a listing. How do you decide like what order to put it in? Like keywords do you like? Let's say that you have like a women's dress, some name brand, women's dress or whatever. Like what are you going to be putting in that listing?
So a couple of years ago, there was a big push that they had it at eBay Open where the very first word should be brand. And this is for clothing, by the way. I think most people are probably clothing since they're also doing product. Yeah. It was brand, then gender, like women's, men's, girls, boys, whatever. And then the item, like if it's a dress, and then size, and then you would put a bunch of other things after that. They've kind of adjusted a little bit when they're saying brand and then gender, and then the most important keyword should be within the first 55 characters. Because there are search engines like, I don't know which one, Yahoo or something, that only pick up the first 55 characters. Whereas like Google, I think, picks up all 80. Yeah. And then the recommendation really is to go with the most important ones first, like front build it, So say it's, and if it's a brand that's like a no brand, nobody knows what it is, you don't need to put that in the beginning, obviously. But something that somebody might be searching for, like Lily Pulitzer, you want to put that down first. And then, just kind of front build the title with the most important things and go down the list. And a lot of people say to try to hit 75 characters at least, but I don't know.
And how many, what is allowed? Is it like 88 or
80?
Yeah. 80. Okay. I was like, there's no way I knew the right number. Like, there's no way I knew that.
Is that how you do it, Sarah?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And I learned through YouTube 3 years ago and what was being said then, and then I've just kind of kept those habits. But it's basically that over front load, get the most important things in. I still do the brand first, even on no names, and I need to get away from that because it's just how I again was trained to do it in the beginning, and it's comfortable, but it's not helping my searches. I'm sure if I'm putting up, especially like vintage pieces that nobody knows the brand, they're looking for a certain item.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, so for vintage, I do vintage first, and then if it's not, like if it's vintage, like a vintage Coach purse, I would say Coach, but otherwise I just do it at vintage.
It's not a brand today, then it doesn't matter. Like Gunny Sacks will always go early.
Yes. Yeah. So Ashley's asking, can you only get the free eBay shipping supplies with the store subscription? Yeah. Can you buy them otherwise though? Do you know? Like, can you buy? Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're really expensive though. They definitely are not cheap.
Yeah,
they're not.
Well, and then you're branding, like other platforms make you buy their stuff and pay for it, and then you're like paying to brand them. Or like I would only do it for free. But they have like little stickers that are like, thanks for supporting my business. And okay, so the title, do you know why you put women's first? It drives me crazy. I don't like seeing it there. Because there's like a drop-down menu. But are people searching women?
I don't know. And I've even been trying to research to see if that's still applicable. And it seems like they're still saying that. Yeah. So you don't put it first, you put it after the brand, but you definitely put it in the very beginning. Do you use Sarah?
Yeah, so what I'm wondering is if in the search engines, if that's why, if it's more for like people Googling and stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They might, if I was looking for something, I'm going to say, if it's a dress, obviously I don't think you have to say women,
Right.
but if it's pants, you say women's pants, because if someone's typing in trying to find something, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
And my stuff is.
It is.
Oh, go ahead, Bob.
It's not for as much for like the Cassini algorithm. It's more for people searching for something not on eBay.
Oh, and you told me once too about that. Most people use their app, and that's kind of why you front load, because they're only going to be seen. Where's my screen? They're only going to be seeing like the first couple words, and so you want to make sure to have those really important ones first.
Yeah. It's even less characters for the mobile app. I don't remember the number. I can't remember anymore, but that definitely is why they were saying, like, originally they were saying brand, gender, item, that like dress, pants, whatever, and then size, and then putting everything after that. I don't really do it that way. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on what I'm doing, my mood.
Okay. So you go down from there, and there are so many fields to fill out. Do you have to fill them out? And if not, which one? Like, how do you pick and choose what to fill out? And I'm actually going to start with Sarah so that Val's not just saying all the things, and you can add on to what she has to say.
So basically, there's the asterisk by the ones you have to fill out, or it won't let you post. So I definitely fill out all of those. And then honestly, it depends on my mood of how much I'm trying to get through this listing and how much I want to add the extra time. I do think it probably helps your listing to get more views if you do more information, perhaps. I don't know. But for me, quantity of listing is what produces the most sales. So I don't like to spend a whole lot of time. I just started doing List Perfectly a couple weeks ago. So it autofills a lot, and it's great, and it's speeding up my listing. So yeah, it depends. And it depends how expensive of an item it is. I might give more time and TLC to a higher priced item than something I'm just trying to move quick.
Mm-hmm. So that just got really bad. Maybe a little, but List Perfectly. So you're creating a listing in List Perfectly, and then you share it to the various different. And what package do you have for List Perfectly?
I have the most expensive one. I'm trying it out and kind of deciding if I like all the extra features. They're definitely in beta mode on certain ones that aren't working real great. So I'm deciding at this point which one makes most sense. So right now I'm trying this one out. I'm still in my first month, so I'll decide if I scale back maybe.
And you feel like you have listing on eBay quicker?
Yeah, because it uploads really fast. Like, I'm able to create my listings, and I felt like when I listed to eBay, for whatever reason, I waited for the upload of photos and stuff that I don't have with List Perfectly, and I don't know.
Okay, I feel that.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I feel List Perfectly too. And I feel like it takes me significantly. It takes me longer to fill things out in eBay, but that's why I pay Valarie for. Yeah. But as far as like uploading pictures, I can get so many more pictures on eBay quicker than it. And maybe it's just like my internet or something. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because it doesn't really make sense to me. I've just I went back to try and do a listing on eBay the old way, and I was getting so mad because I'm just like waiting for it to upload, and yeah, I don't know.
No. Well, and then Perfectly too, you have to do like the cover photo and then all of the other photos.
They changed it.
Oh.
That was a recent update, and you can now move them all around and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe I'll try to do it. What was happening is I'd have to wait for the first one, and then I have to go in and do the other ones, and then
that's gone. I had that the first few days, and I was like, this is lame. But I wonder why they did it this way. And then a couple days later, it was fixed. So I was like, oh, yay.
Okay. That was I don't remember what the question was for. Oh, the categories that you filled out. So Valarie, what do you do?
There's little numbers next to most of them that tell you how many people are searching for those items. So there's a lot of them that you don't need to fill in. And I really only fill in the ones that have high value. And neckline is a great one if it's a V-neck, but if it's a round neck, not so much, or, whatever. It just depends on what it is. And then there's the additional ones like the accents and the features. I tend to fill those out because some people are wanting to know there's a slit in the dress and maybe I didn't put that in my description, or whatever. I don't write a lot in the descriptions because I come from where everybody was saying don't put a lot in your descriptions because people are on their phone. Half of the users are coming on their phone. They're not even clicking on the descriptions. I get all kinds of questions of things that are in my description, and I barely put anything in mine.
Yeah.
So
I put a lot in mine, and I have pictures of everything, and I still get questions.
Yeah.
Like, what are the measurements? I'm like, it's in my it's in my pictures. Like, scroll past the second picture, and there it is.
I do. I send back picture 4.
Yeah. So that's the next thing. And Val had told me this before. They're like grayed out. And this is why I wanted to show the screenshot. I can't get to it, but go on. And I think, is it on your phone too? Or is it I think it's just on the computer, the numbers.
Oh, I don't know. Let me look.
Okay, well, when you go into eBay, look, but there's like little numbers and they're grayed out, and then it'll tell you like 19 million, and that's 19 million people are searching for that. And so then maybe you want to do that. And then 10,000, okay, probably that's not as important. Like if you don't know it, you'll spend 45 minutes figuring it out, right? Which I thought was a helpful.
Yeah.
And on that, do you guys prefer to list from your computer or from
It is on the phone, by the way.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Oh, actually says it's on the app too. You use List Perfectly, Sarah, so you're doing it from the computer. Do you ever do it from the app, or do you prefer everything?
I don't like doing it on the app. And partly was we had like a link to our store, and I couldn't do that. The formatting would get all messed up if I tried to include that in my listings on my.
Oh, now you've cut out. Oh, Sarah, you've cut out.
Am I back?
Yeah, well, your voice is there. You are.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I tried on my phone and was having glitches with our store link, and so that's why I preferred doing it on my computer. And I also feel like it's faster. So Poshmark is awesome on the phone. I'll say that. Like I love listening to Poshmark on my phone.
There is a whole new world of eBay on your computer. Yeah. Like and half of the fields aren't even, because I was used to Poshmark, right? That's my first one. And so I was doing everything on my phone. And then I got on the computer once and I was like, what? Like so you can't get to any of that on and so it's nice when you're out and about, but definitely I prefer doing stuff on the computer as well. Okay, let's go. So you have categories, you fill categories out, and then that's pretty standard. The type of things, your descriptions we talked about. Let's talk about pricing, buy it now, auction, offers. Like, what do you do and how do you decide? If someone is super eager to chat about that, you can jump in.
I only use auctions to give my store a boost when it's being slow. I really do.
Like to get a sale, like because you think it'll get you a sale, or is there something with auctions that?
I don't even really get any sales hardly from it, but the ending of, so you just send 50 items to auction, it really does get more eyes on your store that night that it's ending and when you first list them. So if I'm over, say I'm at 1,200 listings, so I'm already paying extra for the listings, I'll go ahead and send like maybe 50 items to auctions that have been sitting around for a year and put them at a start price that's decent that I don't care about. And I might sell a couple of them, but I really do. It does help a little bit of a boost for the rest of your items.
So now you say send to auction, like that's like one button you can press. Is that what you're like? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can click several of them and hit edit, and then basically, I don't know how do you do that again?
Yeah, you can hit send to auction, but you still have to go and edit in them. It doesn't like just go right to auction.
Oh, because the edit, you would still have to go in and edit.
It's like a bulk edit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I usually end them first, and then I put them up like whatever night. I usually don't only end auctions on a Thursday night or a Sunday night.
That's another thing. We're coming back to that because all of this, like when you start sales and that's complex to me too. Mm-hmm. So Sarah, what do you do? Do you do buy it nows with offers, auctions? What do you prefer?
So my preference is buy it now without offers. So that's usually how I start things, and I try and price. Like if I look at comps, I look at higher Like I look between middle and high and try and price it kind of in between, like at the 75%, of what I'm hoping to get for it. And then I start sending out offers. Now that we have the offers to likers, I like it so much better because I was getting so many low balls. And I know you can have like a limit on what people can send you, but it was stressing me out. Like it just annoyed me. And so and I think that's why I struggle with Poshmark is there's no way to like stop it. Mm-hmm. People just send you a $5 offer over and over and over.
Right. That makes sense. And I mean, even definitely, it's growing on me. It definitely, like, you can send out offers all at once. Like, you can, and the bulk editing is like glorious. Mm-hmm. Where on Poshmark, right, you have to go through and spend 4.5 hours clicking offers for all of your items. This isn't about the difference between the two, though, but that is nice. On eBay, on the computer, you can go in and definitely like bulk edit or promote or do a sale, or, right?
Right.
So why don't you do offers right away, Sarah? You just do buy it now.
Because I know I get less, because what ends up happening is a lot of times I end up taking the offer if I had just waited a couple days or even a week and left it at that price, I would have gotten a full price. So it just depends how desperate I'm feeling. Right now, I might take anything.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. So then do you go back, like, after listing has been on for a certain amount of time, you'll go back and say, okay, I've had this for this long. Now I'll do a best offer on it.
I tend to run good sales more than I even do the best offers. So yeah. I'll put a 25% off sale or 40% on really old stuff or whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to do best offer if you're running sales. A lot of times I want to come off the best offer and then the sale doesn't work.
Right, because what happens is, it's a great deal, and then you get a really low offer. Like, they're looking at the sale price, and so.
Yeah.
Well, and I have learned that when you get sent an offer, like the number that I was looking at too was also the sale price. So like I would get sent an offer and be like, oh, that's not that bad off of the sale price, and then go to ship it and be like, well, shit. Yeah, that was 20% off for the sale, and then they also sent me, and I didn't, I was out with my kids doing whatever, and I was like, oh, that's all right, whatever. And then I got home, and I was like, that's something I'm running to, because I have a lot of things on sale, but then I think I'm getting lower offers. But then I've read if you don't do like sales and stuff, then you don't get exposure. Like, what are your takes on?
I mean, there's a million different ways to get a boost in the algorithm, and one of them is best offer, one of them is free shipping. You just have to decide what works best for your business plan. If she's running sales, I don't run that many sales, but I have best offer, so we're both getting a boost, just in a different way.
I'm doing it all, and I feel like I don't sell anything. I do feel, though, when you first get started, I've said this on some of my other videos, eBay is like a long-term relationship. You have to have the commitment to them, and they don't, like, as I'm slowly getting going and I'm getting more reviews and stuff, my sales are starting to pick up, where you guys are like consistent for years, that you're not having to do all of these crazy things.
I think I still have to work it. I think you have to work it differently than you do Poshmark. Poshmark, you have to share. eBay, there's a lot of other little tricks and things that you have to do to keep yourself boosted up.
Yeah, so let's talk about those. What are those? That was one of my questions. Like, what, like you said, on Poshmark, you have to share and like do little things to get it. But what are like your daily activities? Mine is listing. What are like your daily activities to kind of refresh or get a boost in the algorithm or get sales to come in?
You can start, Sarah.
Okay. So I always run sales. I've noticed a big difference if I don't have anything going versus just putting even a small sale on a few items. Like, it's just, if I have a sale going, I'm going to get more. But I would definitely say daily listing, and the more you list, the more you sell. Like, but it's kind of weird how I'll be having like a quiet 24-hour period, but the fact is I didn't list in that 24 hours. I make one listing and boom, something sells that was like from months ago. And it's just bizarre, but it is very consistent. Listing equals sales. So.
And if you don't have, in this time, if you don't have new inventory, what tricks is there to do for that? Is there?
So what I just did is I just sent out a Facebook plea to my friends and family, like, anybody getting rid of stuff and need a porch pickup. And honestly, I have like 5 people that immediately responded and said, oh my goodness, I have stuff. And so that's going to be my method, as I'm not hitting the Goodwill. They're open, but I'm not comfortable going.
So every day I let it 3 to 4% of my listings. Whether or not, I don't do it every day, but several days a week, I'll edit. That gets a boost. I don't edit,
So like you go in and revise it. Is that the right? You'll go in and revise.
I'll change around some words in the title. Sometimes I make a different picture, the first photo, just any kind of edit that is, but you don't want to just, or you can edit the price, which, you know, a lot of things you can change the title order around, add words, change pictures.
If there's a watcher and you edit the price, do they get notified that the price went down?
I believe so. I've heard that, but I don't know for sure. I've heard that. Have you heard that, Sarah?
Sorry, I think my internet's bad or something because I keep cutting out. So I just missed that part. So you'll have to let me know.
There's a watcher. Do they get notified when you lower the price? I think that I've heard that they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good to know.
And then I try to list like at least 5 days a week. I think that it's better to list. Actually, I know a lot of people who only list a couple days a week and they list more items. So all I hear is be consistent with whatever you do. If you want to list 3 days a week, just always list those 3 days a week. You know, just whatever you're doing, be consistent.
And now what is your take on like relistings? Do you do that at all or do you just do new?
Well, I didn't used to because they didn't have this thing where you had to do good till canceled. So I relisted everything every month. But when they changed to good till cancel, now about whatever's more than 4 months old, I end it and relist it when it's about to end.
Now, do you relist it or do you sell a similar?
I sell a similar.
Okay.
And I don't relist it. Yeah.
So why do you relist it? Or why do you do sell a similar instead of relist?
Because it's a new listing. Brand new. Get new everything.
And
obviously I change a few things too when I do that. Obviously I don't list it exactly the same. You know, again, change the words, whatever.
And Sarah, what about you? Do you ever relist?
So I usually am just pop it up there and forget about it personally. But now that I'm spending more time on it and I'm seeing all the old stuff, I have been trying to refresh. And there was a time when eBay lost a bunch of photographs. Mm-hmm. And I still am finding them from like, I don't even know when that was, but it was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So I'll pull the item and rephotograph it. Some of it is when I first started reselling, which is embarrassing that it's been in the store that long, but it's junk. Like it's stuff I was like, oh, let me try this. And obviously it was something I would never pick up now. So I'm auctioning that stuff off. But I do want to go, and that's going to be another thing, is to start trying to freshen up listings as I'm cross-posting now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and that's because I'm also not shopping. And I actually normally don't shop enough to list new items every day. This is like my part-time job. And so I do relist a lot. And that's why I'm asking if there's like strategies to relist. And I have been doing sell similar to give it a new so that I am listing every day, because otherwise I haven't gone shopping in a month. Like, what kind of reseller am I that I haven't shopped in a month? But like, I have nothing to list.
The thing about sell similar is you lose any kind of traction you had with the Google, crawling it. So you kind of want to keep it up there for like 4 months at least or longer. Otherwise, it's not going to show up when somebody does a Google search.
So if you relist it, does eBay see it as like listing items? Like, can I click eBay to think that I'm listing if I just relist it?
Relisting it'll still have the item number and everything will still be the same. So there's really no point in ending it and relisting it unless it ended on its own, like you had it on an auction or something.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find ways to stay active on eBay when I don't have new inventory to list every day.
Edit.
Okay, go ahead and edit.
Edit, and then things that are old, then sell similar. Things that you've had up for 6 months. And the things that are about to end or whatever. Like you can view your items by what's ending soon. So you can say, oh, today these 10 items are ending. I'll just go ahead and end them now and do sell similar on them.
Well, that's what I've been doing. Unless it had like some watchers or it was getting lots of views. And then I'll do that. Ashley says, I'm trying to stick it out with eBay. It's so hard to make sales in the beginning. I agree.
I found that with Poshmark. It took me as an experienced seller 3 weeks to make my first sale. Like it was insane. Like, so I don't know. I don't know if it's just eBay.
Yeah, it's really used to, I think.
And I think there's so much competition on eBay that you have to. On Poshmark, it's very clear: share, and you're going to get more views. And on eBay, it's a little more mysterious. So you have to do things to constantly boost yourself up in the search results.
Yeah,
so having free shipping is a boost. Having best offer is a boost. Running a sale is a boost. Editing, because now it's something special about it to get a boost. There's so many things that'll give it a boost. And people just think it's listed and forget it, but there really is a little bit of work involved.
Yeah, just different kinds of work. And I will say, I had heard that you have to have 20 reviews to get like a boost in your sales. But it works both ways. Like you can get a review, like, so I was buying things and reviewing, so it was showing. And when I got to 20 reviews, I got a boost. Like I legit saw that. And so, I mean, I don't know how your money is right now, but I was buying things that I would have like packaging tape I would have bought on eBay or on Amazon. I bought on eBay to leave a review. And once I hit the 20, but it took a while to get to that 20. And for me to get, do you guys ask people to review? You guys are probably past that point. Like you don't, yeah.
No.
Maybe in the beginning when you're trying to get the reviews, just kindly say, hey, can you leave me a review? Or because I've had people send me that.
If you really want reviews, buy something, do a lot of bin shopping and sell it. Put up 99-cent auctions where you're not going to lose any money, but put them all up, and then on Thursday, hopefully you get 10 or 20 people. You're not going to make any money. It's more for, I want to boost my reviews. And if you ship things out really quickly and be friendly and do all those things that you guys probably already do, you'll get reviews.
Yeah. For the auctions, you keep referring to like ending on this day and starting on this day, and like, can you can you talk about that? Are there certain days that you want to do things on, or is there like, how does that?
You can look on eBay. There's different times and different things that are better. For me, it's always been like between 9 and 11 o'clock on Eastern time here, where I would do the best auction ending times. And think about it, when are people on shopping? They're not shopping Friday night from 9 to 11 because they're out having fun. Well, maybe not now, but before, a couple weeks ago, things, right? So it seemed like a lot of people would be shopping on Thursday night because they were getting paid the next day, and they knew that they could, because with auctions, you don't have to pay immediately. It's not a buy it now. So
you don't have to pay immediately for buy it nows. Like, what is up with that?
You do if you do best offer, when you require it.
Oh, if you don't have best offer, you have to buy it now.
If you just have buy it now, and then I don't know if you have to require it or not, but I always have it checked on mine. So somebody straight buys it, they have to pay for it immediately.
Oh, that's interesting. Because that's one thing that drives me nuts. I'm like, I'm not layaway. Why do I have to wait a week for you to pay for this?
Yeah.
Do you like strategically plan things out like that, where you're like, I end sales on Sundays and then I start something on a Tuesday? Like, do you look at all that?
I'm not sure. Can you guys hear me? It keeps cutting out. Am I here? Okay. Yeah. So I tend to do a weekend sale and then a week sale. So like a Monday through Friday afternoon, and then I swap.
So you have to like, and this, I think that's where I need to spend more time on eBay and go in and do all of that stuff. Okay, let's talk. We're kind of getting close to the end. Let's talk shipping.
I'm gonna move closer to my router because this is getting ridiculous. And you'll probably hear screaming.
Oh no! I'm surprised you haven't heard my 2-year-old.
They saw me.
Oh yeah. How many kids do you have, Sarah?
5.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And you both, while we're waiting for you to move and not get dizzy, you guys both homeschool, and I want to give you a huge applause. We are on day 2 of homeschooling, and it's not even really like I have a preschooler, so it's not like legit homeschooling and a 2-year-old. And then my 14-year-old is my stepson, so we'll have to start homeschooling when he comes back. But I don't know how you guys get any work done. It took me like 5 hours start to finish to do a 15-minute YouTube video. I don't even get paid for YouTube yet. So I'm like, well, that was a fun 5 hours. And I think everyone cried at least once during those 5 hours. So you start. Oh no, let's talk shipping. Let's get into shipping before our time runs out. Especially now that your kids saw you, you probably don't have much time left. Shipping. What do you do? What do you offer? What kind of shipping do you do? You guys mostly do women's or clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do everything. I've gotten a lot more hard goods going lately. So
okay.
Yeah. And I don't do free shipping. I just do calculated.
Same.
So you weigh everything before and then do a calculated.
A lot of it's flat rate boxes. So if I know it will fit in a flat rate, that's going to be cheaper for the most part. And so that's easy.
So you offer one shipping option for the buyer to pay for either what they pay, right? And neither one of you do free shipping.
What?
And neither one of you do free shipping?
I do not. I offer I would say 60 or 70% of the things I sell are probably under 16 ounces. So I offer first class, I give a priority option, and I give an expedited option.
Okay. Yeah, and you do most of my listings. So you added an option to it to where we do like one where they can weigh it. I weigh it. When I say weigh it, it's a rough estimate. I don't weigh my stuff, like, because I moved all my stuff from Poshmark and didn't have to weigh it. So I was like, it screwed me a couple times. Like I sent something out the other day and didn't. I don't know, but I like lost money on it. I was like, well, that sucks. I misinterpreted. But where you do like one you weigh or the buyer can choose what, or like a box, like a flat rate box to see what's cheaper for them.
Yeah, if you put an expedited option, buyers can search for guaranteed delivery times. And I don't think very many people use it, but it does happen occasionally where somebody uses that. And so not very many people offer an expedited option. And really, they're paying for it. So it doesn't hurt you to add the expedited option. And it's just another way to get yourself ahead of somebody else on a sale.
Yeah. Can you add, like, how many shipping options can you add?
I don't know. I have 3. I think you can add more. I don't know that there's a limit.
Oh, Ashley said she's only made one sale so far and they didn't leave a review. Actually, it's rough goings. I'm telling you, I was about to give up like 4 months in, and then at the 6-month mark, it finally started picking up. And then now life is chaos and it's gone back down. That's where it goes too. So I feel like that's the reselling right now because of what's happening. On that note, we don't have to get political, but are there things that you guys are doing reselling eBay related because of what's happening right now? Like, you're not sourcing, so you're asking Facebook friends and family for things, extra things that you're doing to encourage sales, eBay and elsewhere, just basic things because our trying times right now.
I would say I'd be more generous in my offers just to try and keep things moving.
Yeah, I haven't really thought it through so much. I figure I'm going to look around the house, see if there's some more things I can sell here. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff we don't need. And I think people are going to be bored, and some people are going to still be shopping. So if I keep my listings fresh, right now my sales are really steady. They haven't changed at all.
Oh, well, teach me all your ways. You too, Sarah? Are you steady?
I don't know how much is me imagining they're slowing. I need to look back. But our numbers for eBay are going down. However, the numbers on other platforms are going up. And so I need to evaluate, are we still making the same amount? It's just kind of like going across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed, like, especially the last couple of days, like less views on things, or certain, like, where I'll not have as many offers to send out. So I do think there's something happening.
Yeah, I have that too. I don't have as many offers to send out. And I thought, well, I only did list one day. So yeah, that's a good point. I did notice that the last couple of days.
And I will say for you, Sarah, I don't know your time commitment and stuff, but when I started cross posting, that's kind of what happened. Posh was my lead, right? But then I started cross posting, which means I wasn't spending as much time on Posh. And after things started picking up, my total revenue went up, but it was starting to be split out.
Which makes
so
sense.
much time. But overall, it went up because I was not making as much on Posh, but then I was on like 3 other platforms.
Right.
And
well, and then the items aren't like an item that would have sold eventually on eBay, but it sold faster somewhere else. So yeah.
Right. Does this come and goal said the same Ashley, but I figure if I'm already doing the work anyway for Posh and Macari, I might as well post to eBay too and keep trying.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt. And that's my strategy. I have for what's happening right now. I have no inventory, and we signed a contract this morning, or no, someone accepted our contract this morning to buy a house, and we signed a contract. We're buying and selling a house. I don't know the days, but like we're in the contract for both houses. So we are moving, and I'm also like I wouldn't be out shopping right now anyway to move inventory, and I also just want to get rid of crap to not have to move it. So I am just like being very generous with offers. One, because I think things are slowing down, but also I don't want to move 700 items. So there's that. Thank you guys so much. Do you have any other eBay tips and tricks? Or you guys make it sound so easy. You really do. I can do this. And
well, you make Posh sound easy, so there.
Yeah, Posh is animal. I was going to say about the reviews. I have mine set to auto give feedback to the buyer as soon as they buy it, so I don't have to deal with that. So something I have time for. So it automatically does a random selection of things that I say, and some people don't want to leave reviews until the buyer gives you the review, but I don't think that encourages them to give you a review.
And I didn't know you could auto do that, so then I just forget to do it. So I need to find that option too.
Yes,
that's huge. Like if you're giving a review, you're more likely to get a review back.
Oh,
and
I do have
people email me say, I'll send you a great review once you send me yours, and I send back, I've already sent you yours.
Returns. Do you guys accept returns, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I do. Buyer paid, and I have them pay for shipping there, so it costs me nothing, and I get to resell my thing. And I think it deters people a little bit, but they still don't get angry about not being able to return. So it's very low drama for me.
Same here. That's why I don't offer free shipping. That's the entire reason.
And have you had like things come back not the way that they were supposed to? You've never had that. Okay.
I've had one thing come back that had hair all over it.
Oh.
So I think someone tried it on, and maybe I don't know if they had a dog or what, but I was able to lint roll it. It was fine.
Yeah.
But it was the first time I was like, oh, that's kind of gross.
I had someone, and I'm almost positive that they wore it to an event and then sent it back. Because it was like a really nice dress, and they sent it back. It was like a 30-day return, and it was like the last day they could do it.
There is
it didn't fit. I'm like, you knew that 30 days ago. Like if it didn't fit.
I only do, what's the time? Is it 30 days that they make you do? I can't remember. Yeah. You can buy your own tags to tag special occasion items. I don't do it with mine. I don't have a whole lot of special occasion. I think it's a good idea for you, Sarah, because you have a lot of items like that, to buy the tag and say, this can't be returned once this has been removed. Now, really, in real life, eBay can make you return it anyway, but it may take twice.
Which I actually have one of those little guns to put tags on, and I have tags, so I could put that on. That is because I love fancy dresses and wedding dresses and stuff, and that's a lot of things that people wear once and can send it. That's a good point. All right, well, add that to my to-do list as I'm sitting at home and copy posting. So someone asked, if you cross post, is it okay to cancel a listing on eBay if it's sold on Poshmark first?
Yeah, as long as it's not already sold on eBay.
It's allowed. It is allowed, but I kind of wonder a little bit if eBay cares. I don't know, like as far as ending it, if it dings you at all, because we started ending multiple listings, and I felt like that also stopped views. But you know what? It's all my theories, you know.
I ended.
I feel that way too, and I feel because there's different options on like a reason to end it, and so I wonder if you pick a different, like, have you heard anything about like ending it for different reasons? Because one of the options is it's no longer for sale or it's sold somewhere else, and then I always get nervous doing that they're going to ding you.
At one of the eBay opens, they actually asked some of the eBay reps about it, and they said that you can cross post, but as long as the only time you're going to get dinged is if you don't fulfill an order. Somebody bought it and you didn't catch it that it crossed. So if I ever had a double sale, I would delete it off Posh before I would eBay, because you're going to get hurt a lot more on eBay than you would Posh or Macari or wherever.
Yes, right. And that hasn't happened to me yet, but if you have something that sells on a different platform and eBay, fulfill the eBay one. For sure. And Leslie is saying eBay penalizes you if a customer requests you don't get in trouble. Oh, yeah. For them to cancel. That's the other question. So if to cancel an order, when is it okay that you won't get penalized?
If the customer requested.
And eBay knows that the customer requested?
They'll ask them to click yes if they asked for it if it's after a certain time frame. I think within so many hours it just automatically goes through, but after like 3 hours or something, I don't know how many hours. It's not very long.
Oh, so like if you canceled, it would go to the buyer and they would say, "Did you ask to have this canceled?"
They'll say, "Do you agree with this cancellation request?" Because I have to send an email. Because every once in a while somebody will say, "Oh, I didn't mean to buy this. Can I cancel it?" And it's, the next day I'm getting ready to ship it. And I say, "Okay, I'll send in the request, but I need you to make sure you accept the cancellation request or it won't go through."
Oh, so you ask them to do it.
Yeah, if they ignore it, it goes through, but it takes another day or so. Well, who wants to sit there with their item pending for, I don't want to sit there forever.
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, I've had someone cancel, and I'm always nervous to do it because I've heard that you get dinged.
You do not get dinged if you click the item, the customer requested it, and then just send them an email. Say, make sure if you get a cancellation request that you accept it.
Yeah. Okay. Leslie from A Reseller's Passion, and I'm actually going to do a plug. She is going to be on my channel tomorrow. If you guys don't follow Leslie from A Reseller's Passion, she is absolutely amazing. So much good content for resellers. She is going to be on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard, but her husband's been on eBay for 15 years. So that's kind of what she was saying as well. This has been amazing. You guys have taught me so much, and I hope other people as well. Thank you so much for joining. Their information is down below, I think. If not, I'll go put it down below. I usually am more organized than this, and I have it all prepped, and I was doing that right before. But their stuff will be down below, and you can reach out and contact them. Both of them are on Instagram. That's how we interact, so I know if they have questions, they'll get back to you. As you said, so you review the buyer like on Macari. Yes. But you can't leave bad reviews, right, for buyers, really?
Nope.
So it's kind of, you can review them, but it's kind of pointless.
It's the same as eBay. Like, you're not going to leave a bad review.
Yeah. Okay, so back to my spiel. Thanks for joining me. If you like content like this, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching this as the recording, leave comments down below if you do have questions, and I will answer to the best of my extent, or make sure that one of these ladies can come back and help answer as well. They are both on Instagram and have lots of knowledge. And Valerie's on Instagram. She doesn't post a lot, but she was there. That's how we communicate. But Sarah has lots of really good content about eBay on. That's how I found her. She was posting about eBay, and I was asking questions. So follow them both over there. And I hope everyone has a good night. And thanks for joining.
Thanks.